Good evening, good evening, good evening, Ram fam. How y'all doing out there? Thank y'all for joining me tonight for tonight's conversation. I do not have your quote of the day because it went along with yesterday's quote of the day. However, I would like to thank you all and send you all well wishes for this day. I hope y'all got y'all some sunshine. Although the wind was a little blowing and it was cool, but the sun was good. We all got to get out there, especially those of our community. Get out there, get us some vitamin D, get in there, get that natural light. It helps with our mental health. So I hope y'all got at least 15 minutes of sunshine today. Also, I want to start off the top because if you are watching Stephen Hills, I have received the email. I put a comment out there, but the email is there. I am looking at it. You were the next person to subscribe to the channel. So if you follow the instructions to send me your email, then we can get you a free gift from iwanttorelax.com by Rob Naylor. So today, am being joined today in honor of Women's History Month. So happy Women's History Month, everyone. Again, it's Social Workers Month, and we're going to have a great conversation. This young lady, I met her probably the first time I lived in Washington, D.C. I'm quite sure that's when I met her. For those of you who are new to my channel, this is my second time living in Washington, D.C. So back like 2017 probably is when I met her initially. We moved back and then reintroduced or got reacquainted when I came back. And if I keep talking, I'm gonna give you too much information about her. So I am just going to bring her on in. Clarice, welcome to the show.
Hey, how you doing? Happy
I'm
Women's
doing all
History
right.
Month.
And where are you originally from, Clarice?
Well, I'm a native Washingtonian actually.
Okay,
Born and
native.
raised in DC.
Okay, so that's gonna come in handy a little bit later. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get started with this icebreaker before we jump right into things. Washingtonian. Okay. So this icebreaker, for those of you who are new, this icebreaker is really just to get us acquainted in culture, to see how differently people of different cultures say and pronounce things. All right. So you can see this, all right? You
Yes,
can
I
see.
see. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what do you call this? Pronounce that.
Water. Two.
That almost sounds like Baltimore. Say that again.
Two. Hair. Here.
That was strong.
Oh, those are sneakers.
Okay.
Or different ones. Adidas.
Well, you said
Mm,
sneakers. Okay.
shopping cart.
A shopping what?
Shopping cart.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Uh, shopping basket. It's a purse.
Okay.
There's also a purse. Alley. Hallway.
Okay.
Oh, that's an icy. Ices. Still. Yeah, more ices. Fill in the blank. That's a boatload of stuff.
Okay. All right. Oh no, one more.
Wife beaters.
Okay. Right. Okay, now my arrow. There we go. Okay. All right. So just a little cultural thing. I heard some things kind of the way I say it. Just a little bit. Okay. So I guess what we are gonna start off with. Okay, you said that you are a native Washingtonian.
Hmm.
What do you happen? What do you do for a living? What's your job?
So I am self-employed. I do two different things. I make and sell natural body care products. I have my own business with that. And then I also do a service where I just assist people with whatever different tasks that they may need assistance with, whether that's furniture assembly or helping to move. Maybe they might need a personal assistant with some office work, um, different things like that. Uh, and I do that through a company called TaskRabbit, so I'm considered as a tasker.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah. And you said healthcare products. That's what you said you make.
Natural body care products.
Okay. All right. Such as.
Deodorant. I do moisturizer, lip balm, scrubs. I'm currently working on soap.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, that's going to be one of the newest additions, and muscle ache balm. So
What was the last
yeah,
one?
muscle ache balm.
Oh, muscle leg balm. Okay. All
Hmm.
right. And what the muscle leg balm? What do you make that with? That sounds interesting.
So that I make with butters, camphor gum, different herbs, and a little bit of Epsom salt I mix in there, and it's a certain way that I infuse the herbs and mix everything together so that it forms into a balm.
Nice. Okay. So we don't have to always just be using that icy hot. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Make sure you tag that when we towards the end when we get off. Okay. So it's Women's History Month. Um, are there any women that have inspired you to either do exactly what you do or just in life? Period.
I thought about this earlier today, and there have been different women throughout my life timeline that has made different impacts on my life. From my elementary school teacher that has encouraged me to express myself more through poetry, to junior high school. I was involved in a program. I don't know if it still exists. It's this all girls program called Best Friends,
Okay.
and it was geared towards inspiring young girls to excel and succeed, not just through education, but through um, expressing yourself. They was big on self esteem, boosting your self esteem, and making sure that you were pretty much confident within yourself, so that you can, when you go on to um, further on through your education and through your life, that you are um, that you're able to succeed on all levels within your life. So it's been a couple women from that program that has made an impact, and then there are certain family members that I have also
Mhm.
impacted my life. So yeah, it's different people within my community.
Okay. Any so since I've been here, Muriel Bowser has been the mayor. Um, how has that had any effect or impact on you seeing a female mayor and a black woman and that at that?
Well, I am not a Muriel Bowser fan.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
um, I mean, it is good to see a black woman in a leadership position. Um, within you know within the city. Um, I would have liked to have seen her do more that um that impacted the communities that have been ignored and um underserved, really, and not just putting up buildings and I mean there's so many other different things that need to be fixed within the system, and and I just would like to have seen different outcomes from what is going on right now with the city.
Okay. I'm not gonna turn this too political. I'm
No,
not gonna do that.
I'm not trying to get. I'm not trying to get too political with
Yeah,
that,
I'm not gonna do that
because
to
I
you.
know people got their own you know opinions.
Yeah, yeah. So as we celebrate Women's History Month, what does this time of reflection and recognition mean to you as a Black woman making an impact in your community?
Oh man, just to just to do my part and do the best that I can to bring positivity to my community,
Mm-hmm.
to to create um space that's inspiring, to to do something, even though it's to do something that may not be an extremely huge change, but it would be changing to someone else, to someone's life. And there have been a lot there are and have been a lot of women within the DC community, and a lot of them not well known. A lot of them women who are behind the scenes. You may not know their names, but or you may not see their faces all the time, but they're there. That have been um, making strides in making changes and doing their part to um, better the community, to better people's lives, to help people to grow and evolve themselves. And that's just something that I feel that I am doing, just in my own way.
Yeah. Yep. And I like the community and people who you may not see.
Hmm.
So hopefully I remember to do my best to bring that back around full circle to a thought that I have in other videos that I've recently made. So people are probably like, well, what work does she do? What is it? How's she helping the community? So I met Clarice through my husband, as they both practice, train in Capoeira Angola. And people may not know what Capoeira Angola is, and they may not even know what Capoeira is. So first, if you would like to educate the people on what capoeira is and why should we learn to look at this as a community thing?
Yeah, sure. So capoeira is a Afro-Brazilian martial art. It's an offensive martial art. Most martial arts that people are familiar with are defensive. Um, so capoeira has deep roots in Africa, and it was developed and cultivated in Brazil. Um, and capoeira, it incorporates music, dance, um, and fight movements. Uh, as far as the practice of it, capoeira is in on the surface of it, it is martial, but it's a whole lot more. Capoeira is spiritual. Capoeira is um is meditative. Capoeira is is uh is 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 feeling. It fills the soul. It helps with your physical body, um, and yeah, and it can protect you in in many different ways. So I guess that's my interpretation of what capoeira
Yeah,
is. So
yeah,
now you mentioned capoeira Angola. So there are different styles of capoeira. So the style that I practice is capoeira Angola, um, which is the traditional style, the more traditional form of capoeira. And then you have two other styles, capoeira regional and capoeira contemporânea. Capoeira regional is more acrobatic, and it has some slight differences in movements. And capoeira contemporânea or contemporary capoeira. It's just a mixture of the two. Yeah. So capoeira Angola was capoeira Angola came from Mr. Pastinha, and Mr. Mr. Pastinha, he's considered like the godfather of capoeira, even though he's not the only oldest master who had practiced. And this is during I would say the 30s, maybe 1930s. Um, to whereas there were other capoeira masters during that time, but the one that's well known that people know about the most is Mr. Pastinha, and he learned capoeira from an African. And It said that he was from Angola, so that's why that's where he coined it capoeira Angola, because that's where his master was from. At least that's how the story goes. So yeah, I hope I gave a pretty good explanation.
yes. There's not enough people to ask any questions, so I'm going to do my best to pretend like I don't know anything. Um, you said capoeira is not defensive like other styles. Can you explain what that means?
Yeah,
How can a
sure.
martial art not be defensive?
Sure. So, most martial arts, you are directly attacking your opponent, or you're directly going toward your opponent, whether it's a punch or a kick. The two people are going towards each other. With capoeira, it's more so about escapes. It's a lot more escapes. Not to that's not I'm not saying that there aren't any attacks in capoeira. You can definitely kick somebody, and somebody will definitely kick you. Um, but a lot majority of the time you are avoiding, or you're more so getting away out of the way of the attack to make an attack. Um, if I, if that makes sense. And a lot of the movements in Capoeira Angola is incorporates dance. So the fight is the dance disguises the fighting aspect of it.
Mhm.
So that's what I mean by offensive. It's kind of it kind of looks like when you see Capoeira Angola, it kind of looks like you're dancing and you're just floating around, but next thing you know, that attack is coming. So
Yes.
it's not something that is an instant right away kind of a attack. It's more so a strategy. Strategy is big with that. To whereas you're just filling out your opponent and you're waiting for the moment to where is you're making the attack versus straight ahead going directly into the attack.
Yes. Those words, disguise, dance, strategy. So it's been said that capoeira comes from, it evolved from slavery times. So this disguise, dance of disguise, is this true or false? That this was to so that the slave master would not know what is going on.
Yeah, that is it has it is that's where the development, the roots of the development of it comes from is during the enslavement of African people. So at first, during the slave trade, people bring all of their culture with them, even though they didn't have a whole lot, but they have, how they would do certain things, how they would live their lives and whatnot, and bring with them their dances, the way that they dance, and so forth and so on. So at first it wasn't um it wasn't forbidden to practice, but once the slave drivers did notice what was going on, then that's when they was like, oh yeah, this is forbidden, you can no longer do this. And so that's where and another thing is a lot of the enslaved people have mixed with native people in that region. So there were native Brazilians there too, just like how here there were Native Americans. In Brazil there were native peoples there too. So when you get a mixture of those cultures and people share um, different arts and things like that, then something new starts to develop. So that's where now you incorporate certain dance things, and the dance is to was to disguise. So it's a mixture of candomblé, a mixture of other different practices in capoeira that starts to form in capoeira, um, to where and they was able to do it to whereas they would practice their capoeira whenever they wanted to, and then when somebody gives a signal, whether it's a, a, a whistle or some type of bird call or berimbau or something like that, then they would go into a dance, kind of kind of a performance kind of a thing, to so that because even at that time, the way that it was told to me is that if you were caught doing capoeira at the time when it was forbidden, then you lose body parts or you get punished in very brutal ways. So yeah, that is where that form of the dance aspect, it started to be incorporated in with the martial or the movement of capoeira.
I don't know how I booted myself, but I hope you kept talking. If
You
you got
wasn't gone for that long.
if you got stuck, there is a question. What is candomblé?
Oh, contemplate is that it's pretty much a type of religion um by and I'm really not that um informed,
Steeped into
I
it.
guess. I don't practice it, so I don't want to say the wrong thing necessarily. So usually from what I know, and if anybody who is watching this, if I say the wrong thing, hey, please do come in and correct me. But from what I know, candomblé is practiced by the Yoruba. It's practiced in Yoruba, and there are different deities that people within that practice um, that they that they make prayers to. And these deities, they're pretty much representations of nature, different aspects of nature. And with this religion, there's a lot of dance incorporated with it. So there are different dances that go along with these different deities, which are also called orishas. Um, and then you have each orisha has a color. Each orisha has certain herbs, or well, that's getting into more stuff about that, but that's pretty simply yeah, what
What it
the
is.
best way that I can explain what
Yeah,
contemplate is.
so a blending of originated in Brazil that blends African, Yoruba, Bantu, and phone
Mm.
beliefs with elements of Catholicism and indigenous South American traditions. So I was going somewhere next. Community. So how is capoeira considered why should we look at capoeira as something that helps the community?
So capoeira, um, it helps with it helps with on various different levels. So you have a health that the health aspect, the health benefit of capoeira. It definitely does help with you being fit, with your body being physically healthy, um, strengthening, conditioning of your body. And then on a mental level, capoeira it can be meditative. Capoeira can be calming. Capoeira can be, um, it can help you to like just escape from whatever whatever you have probably going on um within the outside world. And then you have a spiritual aspect of capoeira, um to where is I mean I've had some experiences to where I was so much in a meditative state that I could hear. It seemed like I was hearing ancestors in
Mm.
the background, as we're playing the music of capoeira. Capoeira definitely can touch to your spirit. Um, when you're in it, and when you practice it for a very long time. But even when you're beginning, I've had some um people who I teach beginners, and I've had some people who tell me that you know they feel so calm in their spirit when they practice capoeira or when they do it, when they come to class. So and then capoeira, it can open up some dynamic things as far as the way that you view life, the way that you go
Mhm.
about life, the way um that you conduct yourself, you know, the way, even the way that your body feels. There's the way the movements are. um you can go from, you know, being a person that is all slouchy to just standing upright, and that changes your whole posture, that changes your whole attitude. So capoeira, it can be very beneficial for a community, especially a community that you know, every day is seeing that only experiences something that is that is not beneficial. You know, you're experiencing something that is negative all the time, or you know, you only see in the news something bad happening.
Mhm.
um Capoeira can you know, and you know, depending on what is going on in the community, um you know, that affects your mood as well. That affects the way that you think. That affects the way that you live your life. The people around you have an effect of that. So capoeira can make some shifts um, in some small and in big ways uh, when it comes to um, you know, change in your life, in the way that you see life, the way that you uh, move and sway. Um, yeah.
Yeah. The way that you think, and again, I'm gonna try to bring that on round to something else. So what drew you to capoeira, and how has it influenced your personal growth and or outlook on life?
So I was introduced to capoeira through the internet. Somebody posted an open house online, and they sent it to me, and I didn't know what capoeira was, but it sounded interesting, so I just went to go check it out, and I liked it. So I I went. It only took me one try, and I got hooked onto it. Hey, I was at the time I was really looking for something because I was going through my own health issues, and I was really looking for something um, that I can uh, that I can do to help within the regimen that I was doing. You know, more so physically, some kind of physical activity to keep me fit, and capoeira helped, and it kind of spilled over from it being just something that helped me physically and as far as my health, to something that helped me um you know, in changing my different views about things, and in changing my own mental attitudes about myself and about other things. And and I also want to mention the people that are within the capoeira community also helps with that. So being around different people with different backgrounds, and people that are also on that path of eating healthy, having healthy attitudes, being like just positive, and um, having different practices. Some people within the capoeira community are into yoga. Some people in the capoeira community are into qigong. Some people are into other martial arts. Some people are into herbs and African uh, African art practices and other different things. And it just and being surrounded by that also helps with that shift and in myself as well.
Yes. And being that Capoeira Angola is more traditional, ritualistic, because we didn't use that word, ritualistic, and so closer to Africa itself. Um, Dang it, I forgot what I was about to say. That Capoeira Angola is so ritualistic and traditional, linked to Africa, that one, just being in that space with fellow Black people, that in and of itself enriches the soul and the
Mm-hmm.
mind. In the mind. So I
Mm-hmm.
was going to mindset. So where you were talking, no, I'm gonna stay right here. Being around Blacks, fellow Black people, Africans, the African diaspora,
Mm-hmm.
have, oh, but see, you a Washingtonian though. See, so it's different for you because you're from right here in Chocolate City. But so I will say this then. I'm gonna change it and say, although you are from DC and you're used to being around Black people all the time, is the capoeira space different? Does it elicit a different feeling, emotion, mindset, whatever? Is there some type of different connection, being that you are from here?
Most definitely, I would say
And what
so.
is that?
Um, it's different. It's okay. So the capoeira community is kind of like a bubble. And so it's going to be a different bubble from my own personal life bubble. So all of us, we have all of us, we have different aspects and bubbles of our life, right? So you can have a bubble of a community of people that you go to church with. You can have a bubble of community of people that's at school. You got a bubble of people um, that you hang out with on the street. So um, capoeira, that community or that that particular aspect of my life is definitely different. Um, and it became even more different the deeper that I got into it. Because on the surface level, it's like, okay, I see all these people every single class, and yeah, I say hello and whatnot. But as you get deeper into it, you find out that there's more to it than just what's on the surface. Um, it's different in a way. Now to you saying with me art being in a Black community, um the culture is different. So there are different cultures within the Black community, right? The Black community is not just one big thing. It's a lot of different aspects of of our people. Our people are poly people, so we have different ways of we have different styles too within ourselves, within our own community. So I would put capoeira within that category, within that slot of, okay, it's a because I didn't know anything about cultural or African arts or anything like that prior to capoeira.
Okay.
I only knew, like, prior to capoeira, I only knew the Black community. I only knew I knew go-go. I'm a big
Okay.
go-go fan, you know, but even that community is totally different, from capoeira community. Um, and then from the capoeira community, I started to getting into herbalism, and I'm vegan and and whatnot. So um, that community is, they have their own thing with capoeira. So I guess that's the best way I can explain it.
Yeah, it is really I'm not fully saying the thing that I'm thinking. See, because what I'm thinking is to get you is that not being from DC, not being a person who has a history of being connected, surrounded, by Black people on a regular, like every day. And then once I came into the capoeira community, which is now connecting me even further to Africa,
Mm.
right? Well, I mean, my husband, I already got the Gullah Geechee connecting me, but capoeira itself connecting me to Africa and African roots definitely has a different feeling, a deeper feeling, even here in DC. Gave me, because you mentioned that in capoeira you it made you feel better about yourself.
Mhm.
Even just being here in DC gave me a higher level of self-esteem. Being around all these different Black people, different shades, different sizes, different, whatever. Because I locked my hair here in DC.
Oh,
So,
okay.
how long has that been? 2020? Yeah, I guess, like right in the pandemic or prior to the pandemic. That's when I started locking my hair. Everywhere you go, this is what you see. You see Black people embracing and loving, it appears, embracing and
Mhm.
loving themselves. Then once you get into capoeira, there's just a lot more of this with the lessons of how you should love yourself, how you love your people. What is it like, in Africa, the rituals, everything that goes with that, right?
Mhm.
Um, and being that I don't train. So talk about that. I want you to talk about that. If one doesn't do all the aspects of capoeira, right? So for the new people who just joined in, like my sister, there's training,
Mhm.
there's the music, there's dance, there's the lifestyle of which you just were talking about, the eating and all that. But I want you to state it, like, what are all the areas of capoeira that one should be knowledgeable in and partaking in? And then the second part of that, if one isn't doing all of them, how good is capoeira for them?
Well, I can't really say because it depends on the person, really. Now you can just do capoeira and not even be plugged into the other aspects. I mean, there are people who do capoeira and don't know how to play the instruments, don't even um engulf themselves or even get to know about the culture, the Brazilian culture. Some people who practice capoeira and they just do it just to just for the physicality of it, for to build strength and or for whatever reason that they're doing it. Um, but yeah, you don't I think that would have to be a personal um something personal within you that whatever your purpose is or whatever the reason of you doing capoeira, and bring it in and it coming into your life. um a lot of times uh our teacher Dale, He would always say, you don't choose capoeira, capoeira chooses you. And uh, so my interpretation of what that means is that capoeira will, um, if you really wanted to like be engulfed in all the aspects of capoeira, then it will speak to your soul. And capoeira will guide you in that direction of learning all the aspects of capoeira. Versus if you choose capoeira, then you could just be doing it. It's two totally different things. You just do
Mhm.
capoeira for the physicality of it, or just because you I don't know, maybe somebody might like all the music and somebody might like the energy that they feel when they hear the music and when you play the game and whatnot. But yeah, it depends. It depends on the individual.
So, try to bring this around. You said you had some medical challenges.
Hmm.
Um, and capoeira helped you. It's often said that also your mind plays a part in your health. Did you find that to be true as well for you?
I do. More for me, it was more so when I started to get more into um, the culture and more into uh, learning. What I guess watching certain videos of certain capoeira masters or mestres, or going to the conferences and talking with other um, mestres or other trainers or teachers of capoeira, and hearing about you know their understanding of the philosophy of capoeira, and you start to get into certain things of what certain songs mean, or what certain
Mhm.
movements, why are certain movements done in certain ways, and listening to how um they connect capoeira to how they live their life. And then and getting deep into that does does make you have a mental mind shift as to, okay, um I guess I do kind of see capoeira in the way that I go about my day, or in the way that I think about one thing or another. um and then like I said before, even just the movements themselves can make you feel more confident. It can make you feel um like the energy of the music can alleviate whatever problems that you might have going on in your mind, and to make that just calm completely out. So um yeah, mentally, uh, capoeira, capoeira does help with you know your mind state. You can definitely have shifts
Yeah,
happen.
yeah. And you mentioned that now you are vegan. Are you okay with sharing what your medical challenge was?
Oh, I share it all the time.
Okay.
So before capoeira, um well, I still have it now, but it's not as bad. So I have scoliosis, and scoliosis is just the curvature of the spine. Um, and for me, it's hereditary. I have elder family members that also have scoliosis, and it's something that cannot be um, it can't be cured in a
Right.
so to say. I particularly got a rod put it in my back, and it's a metal rod that surgically is inserted into it right next to your your spine to kind of straighten up your back to keep it from curving even more. But even though I got the rod surgery, I still was feeling a bit of a lean of my body. It's just not as prominent as if I didn't have the rod. Um, and then I was also going through some other things like eczema. I had eczema really bad. I was going through some female reproductive issues and things like that. And so with capoeira for me, and it has to be like you have to like be dedicated to doing it every day because I literally used to do capoeira like 5 days a week. I experienced that capoeira was reforming my body to whereas from when I started to I had more of a lean, but now I'm like more straightened out a little bit more
Uh-huh.
since I practice capoeira. And capoeira has also been pretty good for my female reproductive issues. Um, and yeah, with the veganism started almost around the same time as I started capoeira. So that helped to clear my skin up and to clear out whatever other toxic stuff I had in my body. During that time, I also started to get into herbs and things like that. So, and even that, I didn't fully get into veganism until what fully got me into veganism was meeting people in capoeira who were also vegan. And so I was like, oh, okay, well, that sounds interesting. I think I'll try that, and that's how I really, truly, that's how I got into it because of other people in Capoeira that was practicing that particular form of health regimen. So,
Yeah.
like I said, it comes full circle. The people around you have an influence on different things that comes in your path in your life.
Yeah. Yeah. They tend to have good energy, good intentions, and all
Mhm.
that. It's interesting. I don't think I knew that you had scoliosis because, man, all, with Angola anyway, with all this low to the ground bending and
Hey, I
man,
mean, it's been amazing because when I first started, there were certain movements that I literally could not do. Like and they were painful. Seriously, I would say like half of the beginner movements I literally could not do. I could not bend like everybody else. I could not get low to the ground. I
mm-hmm.
couldn't I couldn't even like do a back bend. I couldn't do it. But like I said, practicing 5 days a week and putting that work, it has completely transformed the way my body is able to move and bend and function. Um, going from your body being stiff and you only being but so, limited to you being able to be flexible. Now there are still some advanced movements that I cannot do, but again, a lot of movements I can.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, thanks for sharing that. What advice would you give to women who are looking for holistic ways to improve their mental and emotional well-being?
Start where you are. Start with what makes you feel comfortable. There are like so many different ways to get into um different health practices. Um, so I mean, whatever piques your interest, go towards that, and it'll start to be a domino effect. One thing leads to another, depending on how dedicated you are, and depending on um, how much you really want to change your life, change the way that you live your life, change the way that you feel, not just externally but internally. Um, yeah, and there are and I know this is Women's History Month, and I've been trying to direct some of my thoughts to um women, um in capoeira. I mean, there are so many amazing women in capoeira that practice so many amazing things and have so many um uh, uh, amazing things to share. um, and capoeira is still a pretty male dominated um, practice, but it is starting to uh, you know have more and more women get into it, and just create some amazing um, things within the capoeira community. Um,
Yeah,
So yeah, pairing up with other women in capoeira helps with that too. That mental and physical path towards better mental and physical health. Most definitely.
true. So you're working on a initiative to support women's, whether it's mental health or their physical health. So one, what inspires you to take this step, and you probably just said it. And then what impact do you hope to make?
um, I hope to just bring women together, and it has been a while in DC since there has been a gathering of women within the capoeira community to just be around each other and be inspired by each other and share um the knowledge that they have to share. So what I'm doing is I'm organizing a universal women's weekend, which will be in August. And it's somewhat like a capoeira conference, but it's going to be for 3 days. I'm inviting some women contramestres, and I am also it's in collaboration. Well, it's being done with Universal Capoeira Angola Center,
Hmm.
um, and there's going to be some looking to have some uh, Brazilian dance class, uh, maybe a couple lectures. There's going to be a film about women in Brazil that we're going to show. And then it's going to be capoeira. It's going to be food. Looking to have a marketplace where women can come and sell and share their wares of whatever it is that they do, whatever it is that they make. And yeah, looking for it to be just something inspirational and inspiring.
Okay. Is your target women who practice capoeira? Is it women? Like who is in ages? Who are you targeting for this?
Um, it's what women inside capoeira, outside capoeira, all ages, is what I'm going for. I'm not going for a particular small group of a particular age. Not even looking for I'm looking for women of all different backgrounds, really. Um, just something to that brings women together. Like I said, with capoeira being such a male a male dominated practice, you don't see a whole lot of women. In some capoeira spaces you do, but I know when you go in certain places, um, you see women, but you don't see it. It would be nice to see more.
Yeah.
So and it's something really powerful. I remember the last time I went to a women's conference, a women's capoeira conference, and it just felt so powerful to be in the same space with so many other women practitioners of capoeira, because different people brought to the table, brought to the holders, and brought to the classes, different things that meant different that you know that different things that meant different in different ways to them. So just wanna create something like that again in DC.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, is there anything that I didn't ask you that you want to talk about, even, just like personally, to get to know Clarice? Is there anything you want to share?
Um anything more about me? Well, I don't think there I don't think so. I guess if anybody is interested in gardening, I like gardening.
Regarding
And
me?
and hey, I do I do like to teach people. Oh, I do have classes. I should mention that, should I? So if anybody is
Yeah.
interested in learning capoeira with me, then you're more than welcome to come to Anacostia. Uh, I'm in collaboration with another organization. Um, I am having free classes up until April the 28th. And
Free.
yeah, classes are free every Monday, from starting at 7 o'clock. Um, and it's going to be at the 1DC Black Workers and Wellness Center in Anacostia. And
You
if you go
said
to
the
my
one DC. Ooh, I'm not even typing nothing. The one DC what?
1DC Black Workers and Wellness Center.
Black
Yeah,
workers.
I was trying to get the address, but I couldn't remember what the address is.
Okay.
But if you go to my Instagram, which is Capoeira Auntie, um, then the flyer is posted there. And then
AUNTIE.
oh, say that again.
AUNTIE.
Yes,
Okay.
CAPOEIRAANTIE. I
I
think
probably
that's
spelled capoeira wrong, but they'll figure it out. They'll figure it out. Okay, so yeah, Angola classes that you teach on Mondays, the location of where it is, and now your health and wellness products that you sell. Do you have a website for that or anything?
I do. It's rootedinnature.com. So that's ROOTED, the letter N, nature.com.
Okay.
And I also would like to mention that on Sundays, every third Sunday of the month, um, there's a capoeira holder that starts with a free class as well. So you can also get a free class at that time too.
Okay.
And those start at 11 o'clock. That's also posted on my Instagram page.
Okay. Some of us aren't using IG. So
Or I could forward it. I could forward it to you.
the third Sunday. Okay. All right. So, anything else that you want to say before I let you go? Even just
Um,
wellness, women's history, anything.
I just hey, I guess as far as women's history, Thank you for this opportunity to share my history, and to be able. I hope this has been inspiring for other people to try cowboy or to try um, some other things that will be beneficial to their health and well-being.
Yes, ma'am. I decided not to go where I was gonna go today, but yes, I thank you for coming on too. So if you know anybody else who would be interested in coming, or has something for us to learn, send them my way. They are more than welcome to.
Sure will.
All right, folks. So that's it. I have no fancy videos anymore. Just remind you that take care of each other, and in this spirit of Angola, just remember community. Take care of each other. Take care of yourselves, and remember, it's in the mind, in your mindset, how you treat each other. We're all a community.
And how you treat yourself.
Yeah, and how you treat yourself.
Hmm.
So with that, you all enjoy the rest of y'all Saturday and the rest of your weekend. And it's RealRam